I'm Tom Marks with the Marks Law Firm, and welcome to the Healthy Family Law Attorney. So we're talking about the marital home today. It's probably the largest asset most marriages have, and so it's a really important topic. Do you sell or do you keep the marital home in a divorce? Or does one of the parties keep the marital home? So let's talk about selling it first, because that's the easier one. If you sell it, you can decide how you're going to split the proceeds. You can put in the marital settlement agreement how it's going to be divided. In the equitable distribution worksheet, typically you can just put it's split 50-50 and it's done. Let me just say, it's a fast-moving real estate market with prices increasing like it seems on a daily basis. I've got clients who are listing their houses for sale, have comparative market analysis, appraisals, and ending up getting 10, 15, 20% more than it appraised for because people are bidding on houses. So selling it may be a good option because right now you're going to get top dollar for your house. Right now there's a shortage of houses available on the market and mortgage interest rates are really low, so people are snapping up houses and there are bidding wars. So from a financial standpoint, it might be a good decision to sell the house. Let's look at why you would want to keep the house. Well, the number one reason is because it would lend to the stability for the minor children. That's the house they grew up in. That's the neighborhood where their friends are, they're familiar with, that's their school district, maybe the school bus stop is right around the corner, and you don't want to disrupt the minor children. So one of the parties wants to keep the house. Well, in most marriages, the house is jointly owned by both spouses, and the mortgage is in both names. So if one of the spouses is going to keep the house, the other spouse is going to want to be removed from the mortgage. That's either through a refinance or an assumption. Assumptions are rare, so let's talk about refinancing. The spouse staying in the house is going to have to qualify. And so do they have enough income? So I've done videos with a mortgage lender, a broker that answers a lot of these questions, but do they qualify? Do they have an income? How long of child support and alimony will they need in order to qualify? So I would recommend and refer my client to a mortgage lender to get either pre-qualified or some indication that they're going to be able to qualify for a refinance. If I'm representing the party who's not going to be in the house, I'm going to advise them that if their spouse doesn't refi, if they stay on the mortgage, then that'll stay on their credit report, and that'll make it more difficult for them to be able to qualify to buy a new house of their own, number one. Number two, they're at risk that if payments are made late, that will negatively impact their credit score. So you want to do that. Now, in the marital settlement agreement, I've seen some horror stories here. I've had people come into my office, they've been divorced for 10 years, and their former spouse was supposed to refinance the mortgage and never have, so they can't qualify to buy a new house. And there's been late payments, so now it's damaged their credit. So when I look at their settlement agreement, it just says that their spouse was supposed to make their best effort to refinance. It doesn't say anything else beyond that, and it's really hard to enforce that. What does that mean? So what I typically put in the marital settlement agreement is that the spouse staying in the home has a set period of time to refinance, whether that's 30, 60, 90 days. And if they don't, for some reason, whatever it is, they don't qualify or they haven't made the effort, then they are required to immediately list the home for sale so that when the home sells, then that also takes care of the mortgage situation. Now, in the marital settlement agreement, I'm also going to put when when there has to be a sale, whether it's the parties have agreed to sell the house straight out or if it can't refinance, that you have some specific language in there. Number one, that they will list it with a licensed real estate agent broker, that they will follow all the reasonable recommendations of that real estate professional, and that they will keep the house in sellable condition. I've seen horror stories where one side refuses to sign the listing agreement. I've had to go in and have the court hold that party in contempt for not doing that. I've had situations where they don't really want to sell the house, so they keep it in such terrible condition, not showable condition, that nobody really wants to buy it, or they just don't follow the recommendations of the realtor. So you want to have very specific provisions in the marital settlement agreement so that it's enforceable, so that the house will sell or refinance with enforceable provisions in the settlement agreement. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. I want to keep this short. If there are still questions anyone has, please leave that in the comments section below. I would love it if you would like the video, subscribe to the video, hit that bell icon, and I will see you in the next video.